Imagine this. You look up at the night sky, and the moon is gone. But this time, it's not just vanished into darkness. It's been stolen. By Mars, yes. Mars, our red neighbor, has somehow drifted close enough to capture the moon in its gravity. And tonight, Earth's only natural satellite, the one that's controlled our tides, guided our calendars, and shaped our very evolution, is no longer ours. So, what happens next? Let's find out. First, let's talk about how this even could happen. For Mars to steal the moon, it would have to come unbelievably close, within a few 100,000 kilometers of Earth. That's almost the same distance our moon currently orbits. But here's the catch. Both Earth and Mars orbit the sun at very different speeds. Mars moves slower and sits farther out, so for it to come close enough to grab the moon's gravity, some massive cosmic event would have to happen. Maybe a rogue planet or a gravitational slingshot caused Mars to shift its orbit temporarily. Now, let's imagine that unlikely but jaw-dropping moment. Mars passes near Earth, and the moon's gravitational balance gets completely thrown off. For a few hours, chaos erupts in space. The moon begins to drift, slowly at first, then faster and faster as Mars's stronger pull takes over. And then, it's gone. Within minutes, Earth feels the loss. Because the moon isn't just a pretty object in the night sky, it's a cosmic stabilizer. It's been quietly keeping Earth's rotation steady for billions of years. Without it, things start to go wrong. Fast. First, the tides. Right now, the moon's gravity pulls on Earth's oceans, creating the familiar rise and fall we see every day. But without that pull, tides would shrink to just 1/3 their normal size, driven only by the sun. That might sound harmless, but entire ecosystems depend on those tides. Coastal habitats, coral reefs, and marine species that rely on tidal flows would collapse almost overnight. Fishing industries would fail, beaches would erode differently, and coastal currents would go haywire. Then there's the night sky itself. Without the moon, the nights become darker than ever before. Our ancestors used moonlight to navigate, hunt, and even evolve sleep patterns. Now, without it, human cultures and wildlife would feel the change instantly. No more moonlit nights, no more full moon festivals, and no more romantic glow lighting up the darkness. But the real disaster is waiting in Earth's tilt. You see, the moon stabilizes our axial tilt, that 23.5-degree lean that gives us our seasons. Without the moon, Earth's tilt would start to wobble wildly, shifting by as much as 10 or even 20 degrees over thousands of years. Imagine a future where Antarctica gets tropical summers, and the Sahara freezes under sheets of ice. Seasons would become unpredictable, farming would collapse, and the global climate could swing between extremes every few centuries. Now let's look at Mars, the thief of the century. It suddenly finds itself with a brand new moon. Our moon, but Mars already has 2 small moons, Phobos and Deimos. They're tiny, more like captured asteroids than real moons. So when our moon arrives, Mars's sky transforms completely. For the first time, it would have a massive, beautiful moon dominating its rusty horizon. But that's not good news for Mars either, because our moon is huge, large enough to tug on Mars with powerful tides, even deforming its surface slightly. Mars's thin atmosphere could be stirred, possibly creating temporary wind systems or storms. Its surface could even crack in new ways as gravitational forces reshape its crust. And for a short time, Mars would glow brighter than ever in our night sky, almost like revenge from the cosmos. But let's rewind for a second. What happens during the theft itself? The moment Mars pulls the moon away from Earth's orbit, the balance of gravity between the 2 planets would go crazy. Earth's orbit might shift slightly, not enough to throw it out of the solar system, but enough to cause climate chaos. Satellites would drift off course, GPS systems would fail, and the International Space Station might experience orbital disturbances. Imagine the view astronauts would have, watching the moon drift slowly toward Mars like a silent, glowing hostage. And here's something even more eerie. For a few days, we might see both the moon and Mars in the sky, locked in a cosmic tug-of-war. As Mars pulls harder, the moon would move faster, appearing to shrink each night until it finally disappears completely. That final night would be unlike any in human history. People all over the world would flood outside, staring in disbelief as Mars takes what we've known for millennia. Poets would cry, scientists would panic, and the entire planet would feel a strange emptiness. But could Earth ever recover from this? Technically, yes, but not easily. Over millions of years, Earth might settle into a new balance, but it would never be the same. Days could get shorter or longer depending on rotational changes. Weather systems would evolve unpredictably, and the absence of the moon would reshape our evolution once again. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Some simulations suggest that without the moon's stabilizing effect, life on Earth might never have developed intelligent species like us. So if Mars had stolen the moon billions of years ago, humans might not even exist today. That's how critical the moon's role is, not just for tides or light, but for life itself. And yet, imagine what it would mean for Mars. The moon's gravitational pull might slightly warm Mars's interior, possibly sparking volcanic activity again. That could release gases trapped beneath its surface, maybe even thickening its atmosphere. Over thousands of years, Mars could become a little more Earth-like, ironically, by taking what once belonged to Earth. But eventually, physics would have the final say. The moon can't just switch planets forever. The gravitational balance between Mars, Earth, and the Sun is delicate. So sooner or later, Mars's hold would weaken, and the moon could either crash into Mars or drift away into deep space. If it crashed, the impact would be catastrophic, equivalent to a global extinction event. Mars's surface would glow with molten rock, and its skies would fill with debris for decades. If it drifted away, the moon would become a wandering orphan, floating between worlds. No longer Earth's guardian, just a silent traveler, waiting for another planet to claim it. So the next time you look up at the night sky, take a moment to appreciate that glowing sphere. It's not just a piece of rock. It's the anchor that's kept our planet steady, our oceans alive, and our species evolving. If Mars ever stole it, we wouldn't just lose the moon. We'd lose the rhythm of life itself. And that's why, as wild as it sounds, if Mars ever tried to steal our moon tonight, the consequences would be unbelievable, because sometimes the smallest changes in the cosmos can rewrite the story of everything we know. So, what do you think? Would Mars become more like Earth, or would both planets end up destroyed in the process? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more mind-bending what-if scenarios like this, don't forget to subscribe, because the universe is full of impossible stories, just waiting to happen.